I had a crazy idea when I was on my break. Crazy idea. So, ignoring the engine bay for the time being, the landing gear. We could use these wheels and attach them up to some actuating robotic parts, alligator hinges or whatever, and have them retract in and extend it out, because these are huge. And they kind of like come down from like with these what's it flaps. So that was my crazy idea that I had. You can fly without an APU, but you have a problem with air conditioning. You can fly without an APU, correct? To continue the APU conversation. So that was the crazy idea. Now, here's the issue that we're going to have with these. I'm not sure that these TR2Ls would do very well on landing. But yeah, my idea is like we extend them out like that kind of thing and then use that as landing gear. And then like we could just drop them down and bring them up. In fact, that's all we'd have to do. We wouldn't even need G tolerance and speed. Yeah, I know. That's where I think we're gonna have an issue is G tolerance and speed. And then then I was thinking, oh, we could also use like one of these cargo bays. But I have a bad feeling that those cargo bay doors might be too big actually looking at that. So let's deal with problem number 1 first, right? G tolerance, that's what I want to find out. Stress tolerance, 900. Stress tolerance of this. Oh, yeah. Don't get me wrong, it looks great, but before the landing, yeah. Yeah, I'm not quite sure that's going to work then, is it? You could use those, but yeah, they're too big. Yeah, stress tolerance is only 900 as opposed to the stress tolerance of 18,000. Ah, way to be a sport discount. Jeez, way to be a sport. It'd probably have to be the medium gear anyway. What are these? 9,000. So these have a landing tolerance of 9 times this. Need to bring it down gently. What's the G tolerances on these? Brake torque. Is the brake torque higher on this? Brake torque is higher on the landing gear. Tolerance at impact 50 meters a second. Tolerance at impact 100 meters a second. 50 G's tolerance. 50 G's tolerance. Yeah, it's the stress tolerance that would break it. You see EJ's gentle landing? I have not. Make the runway out of wheels. Hey Urban, how's it going? No, I haven't had a chance to watch many of EJ's stuff. Now only has a budget for a small SSTO. His expensive SSTO went boom. EJ's last few streams have been heartbreaking. You need to use a good landing gear for this plane, you think? I mean, they would look awesome though, right? Like, they would look epic. But I think Discount's right. Like, right before the landing, they would look great. You know, just before they landed, they would look great. And then I think they might fail. Well, like you say, the actual tolerance before they blow up is 100 meters a second here. You can't see this, I'm in the way. Hold on. We have a thing for that. Yeah, 100 meters a second tolerance for the impact, right? Whereas the medium landing gear is actually only 50 meters a second. However, and this is the big however, it's the stress tolerance that is important, because the stress tolerance is what's going to determine whether the tires break or not. And when the tires break, they stop functioning as wheels and they end up more as skids. Can you clip real landing gear inside those wheels? I don't want to do that, that's a bit too cheesy. The thing is, I don't want to spend 3 hours, because let's be realistic, I don't want to spend 3 hours figuring out an actuating system and figuring out like the actual engineering robotic parts, lifting the wheels up, closing the hatches, opening the hatches and lifting them down. I don't want to spend 3 to 4 to 5, I'm estimating 3 hours, which means it's probably going to be like 2 days worth of focus. I don't want to spend that much time on these only to find that they don't work. Want to look fancy or a safe landing? I mean, the whole plane is designed to look fancy. I'll be honest, I don't know what I'm going to use this plane for, so I'm not sure. Anyway, it's an idea. It's an idea. I will... Yeah, it'd be pretty cool, though, if they, like, kind of retracted up or something like that. Or like did a zzz kind of thing. Be pretty cool, like, to see that, right? That rotation. Up, in. That's away. That's ready for landing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it'd be pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool. Or even if it was just a... like this kind of thing. Animals, kibbles. Anyway, that was my crazy idea. I'm allowed 1 per build. Hey, animal. Hey, Kath, how's it going, my dude?
D, you're a darling, and E, you're exciting, and F, you're
10 duplicants. Wait. Shots fired by Discount. What did he say? At least you would deploy the gear. Oh, oh dear. Oh dear, Urban. Also, Kath with the host as well. No, didn't want that. I think I want the wingspan just to be towards the back. Also, something else that would help is pushing the center of mass back as well. If we had like heavy machinery mechanics doing the landing gear, that would shift the center of mass back. Because where is the area of lift right now? When the engines die out not getting oxygen. We can test how high we can go with this aircraft and when engines would die out not getting oxygen. I know we can do that with math, but that's the most fun of having this chunky airplane. Well, at the moment, this aircraft isn't getting off the ground because I have no engines on it, and that's kind of what I'm getting stuck with at the moment. Oxygen is a myth. I've never seen it. Okay, let's start building the engines. Okay, now this is what I was thinking of in when I was on my break, right? The main issue that we've got here is that the fairings that I want to use to build the engine casings are the same size as the fuel tanks. As the Mark 1 fuel tanks. So I can't make an engine fairing in between the size of these Mark 1 fuel tanks, between the Mark 1 and the Mark 0s. It's something that I've always struggled with in Kerbal. So I think we're just going to take artistic license. We'll start off with... I need to really do this once. The center part of this engine is going to be these fuel tanks here. Oh, I can't attach onto the back of there, can I? Because it's being silly. Is this actually mission mode? No. This is not mission mode. My first Kerbal session in like 2 months. I'm not going straight into mission mode. Are you insane? I must have accidentally hit the button. But now we've kind of got to decide. Yeah, it said so. I asked. Yeah, you must have accidentally hit the button. I might bring this thing into mission mode at some point. I don't know. I'll figure it out. We'll see. We'll see if we can build it first. I mean, the original concept of this was that I wanted an interchangeable fuselage that I could change it in with a cargo variant and a crew transport variant, but I've changed my mind on that, so we're not doing that. I always kind of thought you were insane. That's true. I kind of am. Attach payload here. All right, let's have a look at the reference. So you've kind of got like a sweeping nose cone at the back. The best one to visualize this from is from here, I think. There's something sticking up there as well. Oh no, that's the tail. Okay, different perspective. Yeah, these that They're really long. Looks huge in this view. Yeah, the wingspan is longer than the plane is, right? So it's got longer wings than the actual length of the plane. It's wider than it is long, I should say. I think the wingspan is like 30 meters and the fuselage's length is 25 meters. Imagine in reality you actually have cabins and kettings are like, why is he building an aircraft with fairings? And you start using those weird looking crocodile fairings. It's an Avro. It is. You're right. It is an Avro. This is the Canada Jetliner C105. Hey Vlad, how's it going? This is a Canadian plane. Right. Front of the fuselages can be as simple as this, and then I think the rear is where I'm going to put these fairings. There's a whole Avro Arrow conspiracy theory. You know what? That is weirdly enough the right shape and size. We just need the engines on the back. I think the most difficult bit here is hiding the landing gear. Right, fairing. Let's get one of these. Alright, where are the Junos? Okay. Avro Canada CF105 Arrow. It's a good aircraft. So what's the conspiracy theory behind this? Oh, sorry, I missed the line above it. The Arrow was rumored to be the first supersonic jet, but they ended up sinking the prototypes in the Great Lakes. Interesting. Supersonic jet? Me playing KSP for the first time. This isn't that hard. A month later, I'm learning the Homeland maneuver. US interfered with the development so that no other nation had an advantage over them. That's the conspiracy theory. Okay, I get you. Well, the Arrow was a good plane. I could build one of those. I could build one of those. And never made it out of the prototype phase. Am I thinking of something else? It looks like the one that I'm thinking of, but yeah. Full-size replica of the CF-105 Arrows, Canadian Air Space. I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of something else. This isn't what I'm thinking of. Yeah, this one never saw active duty. Okay. It's really bad. Wasn't the first supersonic aircraft the German World War II plane? The X-1, right? The X-1 wasn't a, No, the X-1 was the first supersonic aircraft. That was 1940s. That was late 1940s, I think. Hey, Izzy, how's it going? More because ICBMs were becoming preferred as such a way to leave for an interceptor like the Arrow waned. First supersonic aircraft was the X-1, yeah. First among two was the Douglas Skyrocket. I don't know that plane. Skyrocket. No, I don't recognize that plane. I have to head off to some classes. Okay, no worries, my dude. So, yeah, I think that conspiracy theory is bogus then, Kath, because the X-1 is late 1940s. According to the Wikipedia, your Arrow was 1957, so that's like 10 years late. So that conspiracy theory is just like any old conspiracy theory. Oh, hold on a second. Never mind. Never mind. Got a little bit more of an interesting... sorry, I've gone down a rabbit hole. We've got an interesting little drawing here, which is showing the underbelly a lot more. So this is definitely where the landing gear come out there. Because where else is the landing gear gonna go? So yeah, that's definitely where the landing gear can't come out. Still don't know what this is. And there's also one at the rear as well. There's like a lump there. I think this is an anti-tail strike contingency. Messerschmitt ME262. The ME262. That wasn't supersonic. That had a jet engine, but it wasn't supersonic, right? Yeah, that wasn't supersonic. The first supersonic jet would have been the F-100 Super Sabre in 1953. Interesting. Guess you're just dumb. No, the fact that you were able to pull that out tells me that you are anything but dumb. Doesn't say any other aircraft. Interesting. Yeah, okay, well, So that would be the first jet then. Aircraft. Okay. It's the F-100. I don't know that craft either. 100. Actually, I probably do. I need to look at it. Yeah, I know. Oh no, I know that craft. Ah, right. Okay, 1954. So that is. This is what Kath was. So this is would have. Yeah, I know this craft. This is what Kath is referencing, I think, with the arrow, and they're about the same time, I think. But like Kath said, the arrow never saw duty. Anyway, let's get back to the jetliner. I think that fairing needs to be longer. So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna get rid of that. Snap. Thank you. It's looking good. So I think that will potentially line the fuel over the center of mass, but I could be wrong with that. I don't know, we'll see. Then we want two of these attached onto each other, right? So I'm a little bit worried that doing this is not going to translate that fairing across. It does not. Thanks, game. Ugh. So this is one of my issues with fairings, is that it's not going to be exact, is it? Because you can't just copy the fairing. Because the fairing actually goes. Get rid of that. There was a supersonic Concorde which failed. Do you mean the TU? There were multiple supersonic planes that failed in the 90s, and 80s rather. I can't. My brain is not working right now. I apologize. TU. 144, that's the one I'm thinking about. 144, that's a really easy number to remember as well. I don't know why I always forget that. Do you mean this? Do you mean this thing? Is this what you're talking about, Nicholas? I don't like this, it's got canards. But yeah, this the top lev. This was a supersonic. Well, this one doesn't have canards. Is it? Was there a version of these that didn't have the canards and it was just like a flying death trap? MiG-19 was supersonic, beating the F-100 by a year. Okay, so MiG-19 was the first supersonic jet. Okay. Had a crash in 2000? I think by the year 2000, this was out of commission. Concorde had a crash in 2000, I remember it. Yeah, it was retired by 1999, Luke. Retired it from passenger service in 1979. First flight was 1968. Introduction 1975. The crash you're thinking about was a Concorde. That was one of the reasons why they pulled Concorde. The Russian one was the one with the canards. Yes, the first flight of the Tu-144 didn't have canards. That's why this photo doesn't have the canards. You can't see them. But later iterations of it, see, that one doesn't have canards. But later iterations had to have the canards because the aircraft was so unstable without the canards, and it was still unstable. Also, I think these canards like retracted as well. I think they were actuating, so they didn't have them out all the time. But yeah, so some of them had canards, some of them didn't. I forget the exact reasoning. This is one of the early ones, because it doesn't have the interchanging cockpit that drops down. Concorde was still profitable all the way to its retirement. It was the maintenance cost that did it in, since parts were harder to find. I guess so. Boeing actually had a design for a... So this is Concorde, right? Boeing had a design for a supersonic passenger jet, but they decided not to pursue it. The bang supersonic must have scared the passengers. Well, the passengers can't hear the bang, Nicholas. It's the people outside that can hear the supersonic bang, which is why it was such an issue flying over built-in places, which is why it never did like New York to LA, because the bangs would always be... Right, I'm gonna change this fairing. And I hope it's gonna be the same. But yeah, what was I saying? Okay, that's not good enough. Yeah, no, oh, come on with the fairings. Are you serious right now? I hate fairings. Why does it do this to me? Build a fairing. I bet I can't build it here, can I? Oh, maybe I can. And it still snaps. Even though I've got snap turned off, it still snaps. Okay, I need some food. There it is. That's not gonna go, surely. Yeah, so, that was the main reason that it didn't do America to America flights. It was always transatlantic, or I think they went from California to Japan, maybe. I'm not sure. Typhoon caused a sonic boom over your house not so long ago, and it sounded like someone pushing over a wardrobe into the loft. Well, yeah, so the sonic booms from Concorde, if they flew over built up areas, they could shatter windows and stuff, so kind of understandable that they would choose to maybe not do that. Alright, landing gear. We need to figure out a way of shifting the center of mass back. I guess we could put an APU at the back. In a city nearby, they flew over the sand barrier, I guess, because of some Russian plane above or waters, above your waters. Interesting. Okay, so that didn't attach where I wanted it to. We understand that we shouldn't break windows. We don't know throwing a bomb into space and making an EMP is a bad idea. Depends in what context. It actually really does depend in what context. Okay, so we need to shift mass back into here. So let's figure this out. I'll tell you what, let's build the shape of the wings first, and we'll figure that out. I think that's as good as I'm gonna get with the engines, right? That's as good as I'm gonna get. Let's save it. All right, let's build out the wing mass, and now. Let me just get this back out so that I kind of know how long these need to be. So we think that will be the length of the wings, right? It's got quite a long wingspan. So let's start placing these, I guess. No, I don't want to attach it to there. I want to attach it to this. Oops. Didn't mean to get rid of those just yet. Fun fact. You know when you say fun facts, they're never fun. And they're very rarely facts. Just saying, animal, your whole life is a lie! So these look like flaps, right? And these are probably to control roll, maybe? This doesn't have roll control. These just have flaps here. Huh. Well, which do I trust more? Do I trust the artist's interpretation of how this plane should look, or do I trust the plane itself? Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any roll control on the wingtips there, so I wonder how it would control roll. Because of Earth's magnetic field, you can let a nuke go off on the southern part of the planet and it would partially EMP north of it, but equally distance the equator. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it would have ailerons, if not flaperons, yeah. Which is impossible in KSP, unfortunately, yeah. Well, I would actually go to the latter. I think the flaperons is probably what it's got. But we can simulate those. I think I'm gonna use artistic license here. First off, I want to change this piece. I want to change it to not that. There we go, we'll do that. And then, where's the D? D, give me a D. Do that. Maybe I don't want the D then, maybe I want the E. Ah, that was too much. Yeah, it kind of works. So, discount. To answer your earlier question, am I going to let the wings bend? I think I've got no choice. We'll see. We'll have to, I think I'm gonna have to strut them up, otherwise they're gonna be all over the place. Okay, then this. Oh, that is also an issue. I don't need that attached anymore. Usually keep them from bending too much. Yeah, same. I don't like strutting to anything else other than yeah, shear off. Yeah, I know. Lift force alone. IRL wings have to, otherwise they'd shear off. Yeah, I know. But in Kerbal is different, right? We can all agree Kerbal isn't real life. No matter how much some of us wish it was. Almost completely above the fuselage in flight, yeah. Well, the B-52 wings are... Oh, this is looking dope, man. Like, this is potentially one of the best things I think I've done. I think I do need it kind of just back ever so slightly there as well. I don't think I've quite got the length of the wings right, but I don't really want to do too much more. Let's add some flaps. Do you know what would be great is if I'd have done this the correct way. Bam, bam, bam. I should have added these before I started messing with the angle of the wings. But I'm an idiot, and I didn't. Nope. Oh wait, does that not? It doesn't change the direction of lift when you do that. Okay, thanks Kerbal. Exactly what I needed to know. Good. Not so much above, but on level with the top of them at least, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of simulating this with these wings right now, by bending them up myself, but yeah, I mean, it's okay. Ah. Still not right, look. There we go. I think that's right. And I'm gonna actually just add an Everlong myself up here. That'll be for the roll. And then the rest is just decorational. Maybe. Oh, game, you are annoying. Snap, snap, snap. Alright, so that one needs to be off, off, off. And that never deploys. Oh, authority limiter needs to be at 0 on that. There we go. Okay, so we've kind of got the majority of this, mostly. Aha, there we go. Now look at the center of mass. So the center of mass obviously isn't updating correctly. That should be the root part. Well, it's never unstable, but we shall see whether this thing flies or not. I don't know. What do we reckon? Is this gonna fly today? Hey, it definitely looked good, right? But right, I want these just to come up. A little bit worried by the suspension on that. For stability, absolutely it is. What do we think, chat? Do we reckon this is gonna work or not? I mean, there are two options with this, right? This is either gonna work or it isn't gonna work. Wait a second. I've lost, I must have picked them up at some point. I do remember picking up. I do remember picking up those and being like, ah, oh, why have I grabbed hold of those? Right, structural. Let's do a cross brace. That'll do. What do we think, chat? Do we think this is gonna fly? Do we think it's gonna rip itself apart? I mean, the fact that I haven't I haven't done much with the structural integrity of the craft probably tells me that the whole thing's gonna rip itself apart. Oh, we missed something. We missed something, didn't we? It was on the actual jetliner. Come on, game. Why will it not? Look, I can see it here, but I can't seem to get it onto any of these plane pieces. Can get it there. Oh, okay, it is attaching on. It's not actual. Oh god. Dude, is something bugged here? That's so weird, man. Like, it's so odd. I think it's these airplane parts are just wonky as heck. Let's attach it onto that. Why can't I attach this onto anything? What is wrong with this? Why is it not attaching? Cockpit end first, do you think? Might be better, actually. Yeah, you might be onto something. Nope, it's not attaching. Have they messed with how... Can we not build struts inside of... from fairings anymore? Can't go through the fairing. I know, like... No, it will not attach. It's not going through a fairing now, it's just not attaching. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, it's just not attaching. Like, it'll attach to that piece. That's so weird, man. I don't understand why it's not attaching to this. What is... Too long? Okay, well let's try attaching from here up to there. Maybe you're right, maybe it's too long. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's too long. Okay, well, where does it go to anyway? It's before the cockpit. Yep. It was just too long. Okay, cool. It was just too long. That was all. Yeah, okay. Let's see how this goes. Something I'm expecting is for the engines not to fire or something like that. That was meant to be attached to the root part there. Oh, the shiny doesn't look good when it's not... when it's not daytime. Rudder chat. Rudder's working. Alright, I want to get rid of the AUGI. Don't know why this is on, because I haven't turned it on. Arrow. Disable. There we go. Yeah, the silver doesn't look good when it's not daytime. Something that we definitely do not want to do is deploy all of those fairings. Oh, they're throttled right up. I want these steering disabled. Needed the whole runway to take off by the looks of it. There we go. It's not terrible, eh? Uh-oh, sinking. 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 So we might have an issue here. It doesn't like to get up to speed. F12. Huh? Maybe we need the bigger engines on then. Yeah, maybe we need the bigger engines. Let's change the engines out then. 4 Junos might be underpowered. Yeah, I think you're right. We definitely don't need flaps, do we? So there was a logical reason why I decided to choose the Junos, right? The actual aircraft that I was building has the same thrust in those engines as the Junos. So that was the logical reasoning behind choosing the Junos. It can fly at least. It might also be quite high on mass right now, what with all of the fuel. So there is quite a lot of fuel in this, so that could also be another issue. Izzy. Oh, cannot deploy wheel while stowed. So that's the front landing gear will not deploy. So this is going to be an interesting landing, saying I've got no front landing gear. Under the circumstances, I landed that incredibly well. And it right down the middle of the runway as well. Under the circumstances, I landed that well. Come on. Okay. Let's lower the amount of fuel, because we don't need that much fuel. Also, this gear, I don't know what to do about this gear. Let's get rid of that one. Let's put on the a smaller piece. Maybe just not clip it. And hope that will work. But surprisingly, everything else kind of, like, worked quite well, right? Like... Oh, Kerbals have mass now as well. Maybe we should load it up full of Kerbals as well. Oh yeah, that was something I wanted to fix, was the wibbly wobbly. That wanted to go to the root part there, and then this is grandparent. Yeah, I might swap out the Junos. We shall see. I'll see how I feel. Because only being able to go at like 60 meters a second is not... I did not mean to do that. Okay. Revert to the space plane center. Also, the game, I can't hear the game for whatever reason. Like game sounds, just in general. Don't know if you guys can. Emergency nose deploy. Yeah, I mean, if I can't hear the game sounds, I know you guys can't hear the game sounds either. No game noise detected. Yeah, it wasn't actually a question. I know you can't hear them. I don't know why I can't. It's not... Oh, Kerbal's coming up in the wrong channel. What? Pause this. No. No, there's definitely no game sounds there. Let's have a look at settings. I messed around with my audio stuff the other day, and obviously something's not working. And of course, I can't actually... No, master is all turned on. Maybe if I... Fixed it! Fixed it! I fixed it! There we go. Okay, we can hear game audio now. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's spool the engines down. There we go. It's a little bit loud now, game sounds are, but oh well. Oh, I bet I didn't turn off the steering on here, did I? Steering disabled, okay. Uh-oh. Hello? We're past V1. Plane? Be a plane now? Be a plane now? Be a plane now? Might, maybe, have had to have used the runway to take off there. Okay, let's change out the Junos. I'm not happy with the Junos. Not happy with the Junos. Let's revert back. All that time we spent with this fairing, and we no longer need it. We no longer need that either. Right, if this is the case, we can actually lump more fuel into this then. In this fuselage. It's just not going to look as nice, unfortunately, but oh well. I'm kind of limited with what I can do, I think. And then let's get the Wheezy. Yeah, it's a shame that we have to go with the Wheezies, but yeah. Oh well. It is what it is. Do revision 2 because the first version did actually work. It flew as a plane. My center of mass will have moved back slightly now. Because I've added more fuel in. Actually, I should have looked at that. I didn't even think. Hold on a sec. I think we want that to be closed, don't we? Let's just have a look at the center of mass. Center of mass actually in a good spot, because as this fuel drains, it doesn't actually change the center of mass too much. It does move it back, which is actually kind of scary. Maybe we just move this back ever so slightly. No, I want to move it forwards, if anything, don't I? A landing gear needs to move back. That's what I needed. There we go. There we go. That will be better because the center of mass will shift back ever so slightly. Let's save that. Let's launch it. Will Jean-Luc pilot it together with Han Solo? Jean-Luc was a hell of a pilot, I think. I'll have you know. Hell of a goddamn pilot. Yeah, unfortunately, the engines just don't look quite right now. Oh wow, this thing is... This thing might make supersonic velocities. Hey Solid, how's it going, my dude? I don't think these engines will go supersonic, will they? The Wheezies. No, Wheezies aren't made for supersonic flying. How are you, Solid? What have you been up to? What have you been up to, my dude? Alright, do you know what I should do? How do I set trim on this again? Is it Alt? Yeah, it's the Alt key and then WAS. And how do you cancel the trim settings when you want to cancel it? Is it Alt and X maybe? Whoops. I'm also going to turn down the sounds because that's insane. I haven't been doing anything too exciting, just surviving these crazy times. Well, hopefully you're surviving. It's a shame that the I got a little bit of roll input there. Maybe. It is Alt X, that is confirmed. How many Kerbals have you killed today? 0. I don't kill Kerbals. We don't kill Kerbals here. Far too sophisticated for that. I really wish it was easier to kind of like figure out trim settings and stuff. Unfortunately, this like wobble that's kind of happening right now is in my joystick, I think. It's a little bit too much play. I'm pretty pleased with this. This is handling fairly well. I'm curious to know what the cruising altitude would be, though. Probably have to back off the throttle a little bit. I mean, I'm only at 5,000 kilometers at the moment. I'm going to fly around the whole mountains, then we'll come back and land. I'm pretty pleased. Saying that this is the first aircraft or anything I've done on Kerbal in a very long time. Not done a terrible job. I mean, there's still little things that I need to tweak out. So, for instance, the Avalons here, these don't need to be doing anything. I need to make sure that they are turned off in the craft file. Something else that needs changing. I might change this chrome color back. 4 hours and I have a working end product. Yeah, it's been 4 hours stream today. It's not. I've not done too bad. Not done too bad, actually. To say I haven't built an aircraft or built anything in Kerbal, really, for a while. It's pretty good. Let's see if we can get to a higher altitude, because I'm pretty sure the peak of those mountains up there are Because I want to go around the mountains, right? But if I can go over the mountain, that would be awesome. I'm pretty sure this should be able to get up to 12 kilometers. So I think these engines are pretty good at high altitude. Probably more efficient. We'll keep that up there and have a look at, keep the fuel flow open. But to say I have picked an aircraft that I know very, very little about, and we've been able to build it and design it and do it in, like Animal said, 4 hours, and we've got an end product and it flies. Kinda happy. No, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't necessarily expecting to have this. Well, it's a shame that I couldn't have the Junos on there. I mean, we could have put a Cal controller on and then, like, ramped up the engines, I guess. Yeah, I guess we could have done that. We could have ramped up the engines a little bit. I'm actually really pleased with this. Yeah, there are still a few tweaking things, I think, but otherwise, should be good. Should be good to do. And how sexy is this? Like, it's a pretty nice... I think the thing that I'm most pleased with here is the fuselage. Like, I think I've really got the shape of the fuselage right. I don't think the wingspan's quite long enough to the actual plane. Hang on a sec. I'll show you what the actual plane's supposed to look like. So the actual plane is supposed to be this. We were trying to build this, right? The reason why I've done it in the chrome colors is because they often made these out of, like, stainless steel. Although the color scheme there looks different. I think that this version is this bottom version here. Do you see this? Because it's got the white on the top and the silver on the bottom. Silver on the bottom, white on the top, right? But then the first one, this one, is this top version, the 1949 version. So that's the 1949 version. This is the 1956 version. Interesting. That looks like the 1949 version as well, look. So it's got the yellow and the silver. And that looks like the 1949 version as well. So I can just see a stripe there. I suppose it could also be the 19... It's a bit difficult figuring it out from below. Actually, wait. 1950. So it's got to be the 1949 version. It's got to be. Whoa! Wasn't paying attention. We lost a lot of altitude. Also, kind of curious, where are the main pieces of drag? Looks like the majority of the drag is the fuselage. Aerodynamically, everything seems to be working. I'm not sure what that is. Not sure what that's coming from. There's something pulling it down here, and I don't know what that is. And also these Avalons look like that they're on upside down. I'm gonna try and make it over the mountains. Oh, hi, stars. Stars came out, like. Right, we'll come in for a landing here, and we'll call it a day, I think, at that. There's the landing zone over there, isn't it? Oh no, that's... We're heading in the right direction. Kind of. We've got that crest in the background to cross over. I'm pretty sure that the flight path would have you ignore these mountains. You'd probably have to come in from this direction and... or fly around like that kind of thing. Pretty sure. But I'm doing it up and over. Direct line of sight, right? I think we're at altitude now. I don't think we're gonna be able to get higher than 8 kilometers, 8.6 kilometers. So that's our limit with this thing, 8.6. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to reach 10 kilometers, but yeah. Reduce our thrust here, and we'll just glide in, shall we? I like this. I've really enjoyed building this. I'm glad I did this to get me back into Kerbal. I think what I will do next, Kerbal-wise, we need to like practically turn off these engines. 5% thrust. I think what I'm gonna do next is I will so you turn off. Don't know if the engines, it does like to nosedive a little bit there. What was I gonna say? So the next thing for me in Kerbal will be sorting out Duna lander stuff, and then we're just gonna push and do the Duna space station thing that I've been talking about for years and years and years. It feels like at this point. I think we started that concept at the beginning of this year, right? Something like that. In one version of Kerbal, and then... yeah, well, it is what it is. Tell you what I need up. I need those up so I can control my flaps. Dun, dun, dun. I think I might have too much of a steep glide slope right now. Should only be like 3 degrees, right? Something like that. What's my velocity? I'm still going 151 meters a second. Might have to deploy flaps, right? Like, so let's go up to 5-degree flaps. Should help increase drag. Kill off some of our airspeed. And we don't actually know what the stall rate of this craft is, do we? What's the stall speed? I imagine it could be quite low. It's definitely below 60 meters a second. That's kind of what I want to be touching down at. Right, that needs to be on terrain. Stand by for final approach. I never like coming in from this direction. I like landing on 2-7. I never like landing on 0-9. I'm getting cramp in my hand from holding the joystick. Gear deploy. That should increase drag. Did all gear deploy? Yep. Front gear has also deployed. That's great. "15-degree flaps. Oh, I need to stop killing off my altitude, actually, because I'm still quite high. Dun, 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 dun. Uh-oh. I have no lift. Not good, not good, not good. Woo-wee. Okay. That was poorly flown. Might have killed off a little bit too much velocity there. It might have killed off just a little bit too much velocity. I scraping the barrel there just a little bit. I should have got rid of the flaps. The flaps, I forgot to bring the flaps in. And then by the time I realized that I was in trouble, it was like, okay, I've got to put on a little bit of power. I killed off a little bit too much velocity. But otherwise that was pretty good. That was a pretty good landing and flight. I'm pretty pleased with this aircraft, actually. I quite like it. I like how it looks. I think I will get rid of this silver. I think we'll turn it into white. The silvering, the chrome in Kerbal never never works the way I like it. I mean, what we could do, we could angle light down onto the craft so it shines a little bit better. That's what we could do. Other than the fact that I nearly crashed the plane. I nearly crashed the... Well, actually, no, I wouldn't have been a crash. It would have been a landing. But other than the fact that I nearly landed the plane off of the runway, not bad. Not bad. For a first flight, and the first flight was pretty much just flying around there and coming back. We've, we flew, what, round that way and then came back this way? That was kind of our flight path. We've only used a quarter of the fuel. So if we can go kind of all the way around there and then come back, what's stopping us from going all the way over to here? Right? Pro piloting skills? Dude, I'm actually really, really pleased with my reflexes there. I was able to engage the engines at the correct time. It is pro piloting skills. Even though I was wrong, I had the wrong amount of flaps active, I was able to save it. I think a year ago, if I was flying that even a year ago, I don't think I'd have been able to save that. The plane. So you do realize we've got to design ground craft for this plane now, right? We've got to design and build ground craft to get the Kerbals off and on the plane. And maybe a refueling tank. Refueling tank will be difficult. Can you transfer fuel through the grabbing device? So maybe we could have like a little truck that has a junior grabbing device and attach up onto the tanks and then transfer fuel through there. Yes, you can. Excellent. So there is an issue with electric charge, look. We do need an APU. Or something to keep the electric charge good. So yeah, maybe we do install a small APU into the back of this somewhere, back here. Usually the APU is at the rear of the plane anyway, and it will maybe help with our center of mass. It's an option. Because right now I've got the main engine spooled up to like 5% to get the electric charge up. What is it like under Time Warp when we unload and reload it? What's gonna happen? See, I think it looks good in the daylight, right? Like, that silver looks great during the daylight, but in the shade, not so good. I don't know. What do you think with the color scheme? What do you guys think? I mean, what we could do, I could mount lights to shine onto the craft when it's nighttime. Like we could have under lighting here or something angled into the tail fins. White would look better or lighting. I'm gonna leave this here. Yeah, we definitely got to do something. I mean, the original option, Animal Bear, actually, you've just given me a massive cop-out answer, because the choice was, what do you think would look better? All white or lighting? Like, I'm not planning on keeping it like this. Do you know what? I can't bother to install lights right now, so let's go back to the white. Oh, we could do lighting as well, anyway. But I'm not going to do that today. I mean, we can do blinking lights right now. We can have blinkers on. Navigation lights. Why is it not blinking? Blink. Blink. Why does it not blink in the editor? Do these things not blink in the editor? Hello? Do these things not blink in the editor or something? I've never really played around with the blinking lights. Huh. Blink on. There we go. Yeah, they don't work in the editor. It's kind of a shame that you can't, like, properly edit the blink timings for these. Well, actually, I guess you could. Blink on. Yeah, blinking doesn't work in the editor. That's so stupid. That's such a stupid thing. That's bad. Kerbal, do better. Anyway, I'm really happy with this. I think we've done a really good, fun build. It was a fun build, right? Who had fun? Me! I had fun. I'm really pleased with myself. You know when you construct something and you're like, you've put a lot of time into it, and you've put effort, and you've put thought, and you're like, ah, that's so cool, and then you want to show someone, but they don't quite understand what you're showing them. And it's like, oh, look at this thing that I just built, and they're like, yeah, well done. That's how I'm feeling right now. That's never happened like all of my life. Anyway, chat, I'm gonna head out. See you guys later.